Well, hi everyone. We're going to work on this practice exam, and we'll start with these function questions here at the beginning. I got f of x equals x squared plus 5x minus 2 and g of x equals x minus 1. Our job on the first one is to find f of plus g of x, which is f of x plus g of x, which f of x is x squared. I'm going to put that in parentheses. X squared plus 5x minus 2 plus g of x, which is x minus 1. So we got the x squared plus 5x minus 2 plus x minus 1. I can get rid of the parentheses. This is the only x squared here. 5x plus 1x is 6x. Negative 2 minus 1, that's negative 3. Okay, so that is, f plus g of x. Number 1. Number 2, I need to take g of x minus f of x, which is x minus 1 minus x squared plus 5x minus 2. Without parentheses, I have x minus 1 minus x squared. That minus goes to the 5x, and that minus and a minus make a plus 2. So let's start with the negative x squared. And then I've got 1x and negative 5x, that's negative 4x. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive 1. G minus f of x is equal to this. All right, f times g of x. That is f of x times g of x. And f of x is x squared plus 5x minus 2. G of x is x minus 1. So I'm going to go x squared times x, which is x to the third. X squared times negative 1, that's negative x squared. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times negative 1 is negative 5x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. And this is looking like x to the third minus 1 plus 5 plus 4x squared. Combine the like terms there. Negative 5x minus 2x is negative 7x and plus 2. So this is f times g of x. Okay, f of x, f over g of x, that's f of x over g of x. F of x is x squared plus 5x minus 2. G of x is x minus 1. And then, and that's all the further we'll go. We won't do long division or anything, but it's asking for us to state any restrictions on the domain of x. In other words, x minus 1 cannot be 0. And if you add 1 to both sides, x cannot be 1. There's the restriction. Here is f of g of x. Now here's a composite function. And I like to write it this way, f of g of x. And that'd be f of x minus 1, which means I've got to take this and put it in for x in the f function here, and I got to put it in here, and then I have that minus 2. It was x squared plus 5x minus 2. We take the x out, put x minus 1 in its place. I'm going to FOIL x minus 1 times x minus 1 over here, and then I'll put my answer down there. But that's x squared minus 1x. Okay, inside that's minus 1x, and last negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So I have x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now let's distribute here, plus 5x minus 5, and then I have this minus 2. So here's my x squared. Negative 2x plus 5x is 3x. 1 minus 5, that's negative 4. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. There's f of g of x, the composite function. All right, number 6, the inverse of f of x equals 3x minus 6. We start, let's put y for 3x for f of x, and then switch x and y. So x equals 3y minus 6. And then we solve for y. So that means I'm going to add 6 to both sides. I've got x plus 6 equals 3y. Now divide through by 3. And when I do that, I'll have x over 3 plus 6 over 3 is equal to y. I'm going to write it as y equals x over 3, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then you put it in inverse function notation, which is at f negative 1 of x instead of the y, and write x over 3 plus 2. Okay, first page done. Second page. We're going to graph y equals the square root of x minus 3 plus 2. Now, the parent function, y equals square root of x, you can't take square root of a negative number, so it starts at 0. And the square root of 0 is equal to 0. So this is where it normally starts, but we are going to translate the graph 3 units right because of the minus 3 with the x, and then 2 units up because of this plus 2 right here. So I'm going to start right here, and then make an xy chart here. We start with 3. 3 is the lowest value it can be because we moved it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll just put some values in. I'll just go to the end of the graph here. And get the calculator out. So I'm going to take the square root of 3 minus 3, move that over, plus 2. When I hit that arrow, it stops the radical. And that is equal to 2. Do this over here where I can write. Second enter, I'll change that 3 to a 4. And that is 3. Second enter, change that to a 5. Hitting 3.41. I'll just go 2 decimals. Second enter, change that 5 to a 6. 3.73. Second enter, change that 6 to a 7. And that is 4. Second enter, change the 7 to an 8. That's 4.23. Second enter, change that 8 to a 9. I'm at 4.45. second enter. That's not going to be as easy. Change the 9 to a 10. Okay. 4.65. Okay, it increases all the time, but it doesn't increase as fast the bigger x gets. So I do have the 3, 2, 4, 3. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to graph 7, 4. 4 there. And 10 and 4.65, like right around there. And then I'll just draw that curve. The domain. Where does x begin? X begins at 2. 3, I'm sorry. X begins at 3. X is greater than or equal to 3. The range, it keeps increasing, keeps going up. And the lowest value is 2. Y is greater than or equal to 2. All right, time to simplify radicals. Now, I'm going to rewrite 81 as 9 squared. A to the 10th, I'm going to write a to the 5th squared. Because square roots and squares are going to cancel out. So I'll pull anything with the square on the outside. I'm going to write b to the 6th as b to the 3rd squared. And c to the 8th, I'll write as c to the 4th squared. Here's my negative, so let's put the negative out there. Square and square root cancel out, so there's 9. That square cancels out with that square root, so I have a to the 5th. That square root cancel out, b to the 3rd. Square root cancel out, c to the 4th. All right. Now, the 4th root. Now, 625. 5 to the 4th power is 625. 5 to the 4th power is 625. So I'm going to write 5 to the 4th. Now I want 4th power on the outside because I have a 4th root on the inside. 5 to the 4th. X squared to the 4th. Y to the 7th to the 4th. That'll make y to the 28th. 5 to the 4th. The 4th root of 5 to the 4th is just plain old 5. 4th root of x squared to the 4th. The 4th root and 4th power cancel. That's x squared. 4th root, 4th power cancel. That's y to the 7th. Okay. Now on this one, I'm going to get the biggest square root I can get. And I think 48 is 49 times 2. And 49 is 7 times 7. So I've got 2 times 7 squared. That's the 7 times 7 part. And then I'm going to go for x to the 6th, which I'll put 3 here and an x squared here because I want a square and square root to cancel out. That's x to the 6th. I need another x. So the 7 squared, I can get 7 out. The square and square root cancel out with the 7 on the outside, and square here cancels square root, so that's 7x to the 3rd. Now that's gone and that's gone, but the 2 and the x are still here. All right, number 12. 2 times 2, or 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 2 times 2. So I'm going to write the cube root here, 2 to the 3rd for 8. I'm going to write a, I need the 7th power, so a squared to the 3rd. Now I want the 3rd on the outside so it can cancel out with this 3rd root. And then b to the 3rd, that's going to cancel. So the 3rd power, 3rd root cancel out, so I have 2. a squared to the third power, third root, that's 2a squared. B to the third, cube root, those cancel out. B, so there's my final answer there. Another page done. All right, still kind of in radicals here, simplifying. I'm going to multiply all of this together. Cube root 5x to the 5th, y to the 8th, times 25x, y to the 7th. Okay, so let's take the 5 times the 25, the x to the 5th times the x, put the x's together, and the y to the 8th times y to the 7th. So I got the cube root of 125, x to the 6th, y to the 15th. Five times 5 times 5 is 125. X squared to the 3rd. And then I've got y to the 3rd. I want to get the y to the 3rd. That's I only get one y to the 3rd out of there. Times y to the 2nd. Trying to get all the third powers I can in here. Cube root, cube cancel, so that's 5. Cube root and cube cancel, leaving the x squared on the outside. Cube root, cube cancel, leave us y here. Cube root, y squared there. Okay, this y squared, I didn't have enough, so it had to stay under. Now, on this problem, I'm going to, you got to rationalize the denominator. I'm going to use the conjugate of the square root of 3 minus 4 on the denominator and multiply the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 3 plus 4, which is the conjugate of the original denominator. So let's FOIL. 4 times square root of 3 plus 4 times 4, which is 16. Negative square root of 3 times positive square root of 3. That's the negative square root of 9, which is negative 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Negative times positive is negative. Okay, and then this is negative 4 radical 3 on the last. I'll simplify that in the next step. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Square root of 3 times 4 is plus 4 square root of 3. Then I got minus 4 square root of 3. Negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. All right, the radicals are canceling out on the denominator, which means we're rationalizing. Now, four radical 3. Okay, that doesn't happen very often, but those two actually canceled out. 4 radical 3, negative 4 radical 3. 16 minus 3 is 13. Those canceled out. 3 minus 16 is negative 13. This fella equals negative 1. Now there's a chance, it's a very good chance that it will not, you won't lose your radical in your numerator on the test. All right, it is time to solve equations. Cube root. I'm going to undo the cube root by raising to the third power. So I have x minus 5 equals 7 to the third power, which is 343. I'm going to add 5, and add x equals 348. And then I'm going to check. So it's the cube root of 348 348 minus 5. Is that going to equal 7? That's our original equation with 348 in the place of x. So let's take the... Oops, I don't want a second. Let's go math. Cube root, that's number 4 here. Cube root of 348 minus 5. And I do get 7. So yes, that checks. On number 16, I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides first. I got the square root of x minus 1 equals negative 4. I'm going to raise it to the second power. Second power, cube root are going to cancel out, but I got to raise this side to the second power also. So now I've got x minus 1 equals negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So I had 1 to both sides, and I got x is 17. Time to check. Square root of 17 minus 1 plus 10 equals 6. Plus 10. So that's the square root of 16 plus 10 equals 6. The square root of 16 is 4. 4 plus 10 equals 6. I don't think so. So we'll go no solution there. All right, number 17, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I got 11 here. Square root of x minus 2 here. That's square and square. If I have square root, I've solved for the square root. I'm going to square both sides. I've got 121 equals x minus 2. I will add 2 to both sides. I've got 123 equals x. 123. So I'm going to check. 7 equals the square root of 123 minus 2 minus 4. The square root of 1 square root of, I'll just put it in the calculator. 123 minus 2. Move that over, and then subtract 4. I got 7, and that's what I wanted to get. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, number 18. Let's add 18 to both sides of this equation. I got 3 times 8x minus 4 to the 1/3 power equals 18. Let's divide both sides by 3. Cancels, and I've got 8x minus 4 to the 1/3 power equals 6. Let's rewrite. 1/3 power is cube root. That's what it is. I'm going to raise both sides to the 3rd power. Cube root and cube cancel out, so 8x minus 4 is all that's left. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. So I add 4 to both sides. I have 8x equals 220. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. 220 divided by 8 is 27.5. X equals 27.5. I'm going to check. We got to take 3 times 8 times 27.5 minus 4 to the 1/3 power. Subtract 18. and see if that gives us 0. Alright, I'm going to take 8 times 27.5. Notice I started with a pair of parentheses there, or 1/2 of it, minus 4. Close that. I'm going to raise that to the 1 divided by 3 power, 1/3 power, and I get 6. Alright, so that's just this part right here. That's 6. 3 times 6 minus 18, is that going to equal 0? That's 18 minus 18, which is 0. Okay, so it checks. Stay with that answer. Alrighty. I'm going to add 2 to both sides here. Got the cube root of x minus 4 equals negative 6. And go to the 3rd power. I got x minus 4, because the cube root and cube cancel out. Now negative 6 to the 3rd power, that's negative 216. Just check it. Plus 4 here. X is equal to negative 212. We are going to check. Cube root of negative 212 minus 4 minus 2. Does that equal negative 8? Okay, we actually have a cube root in the math menu. You can go math. There's a cube root, number 4 there. And that is negative 212 minus 4 minus 2. I got negative 8, just like it said we should. All right. Okay. Now number 20. The formula t equals 2 pi times the square root of L over 32 represents the swing of a pendulum, where t represents the time in seconds to swing back and forth, and L is the length of the pendulum in feet. How long is a pendulum that takes 4.1 seconds to swing back and forth? Okay, 4.1 seconds is t. Equals 2 times pi times the square root of L. L is the length of the L is not that. That's in the right place. L is what we're going to solve for. Okay, so let me write 4.1 equals, I'm going to go 6.28, 3.14 times 2, times the square root of L over 32. So let's subtract 6.28. Okay, we are not subtracting 6.28. We are dividing by 6.28. I think fatigue is setting in here, guys. All right, so 4.1 divided by 6.28 is equal to, let's go 0.6529. Is approximately the square root of L over 32. Now let's raise both sides to the 2nd power so we can get rid of that square root. Answer to the 2nd power. Okay. L over 32 equals 0.4262 approximately. And let's multiply both sides by 32. I'm getting L is approximately 13.7 feet long. All right, winding down here. On this first problem, I'm going to just factor everything. I'm going to put the negative, and then 2 times 2 times 2 makes 8. I think we did that earlier. Times x times y. 27 is 3 times 3, which is 9 times 3, times z. Times 18 is 2 times 3 times 3, times z, times z, times z. 4 is 2 times 2, and then you have x to the 4th. So it is time to start canceling things out. The 2's go here and here. This 3 and this 3 go. This 3 and this 3 go. This x here, this x here. We can cancel a z here and a z here. We're out of 3's there, aren't we? All right, what did I not cross out? I did not cross out that 2. Nor did I cross out that 2. I got a y. I got z times z, or z squared. On the bottom, we've got 3 x cubed. So we're going to, so that's 4yz squared over 3x cubed. All right, next. Okay, I'm going to factor these guys first before I do anything else. Well, multiplies to negative 15, doing this first one, and adds to 2. I think it's 5 and negative 3, and then 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. 5 plus negative 3 is 2. So this first one I'm going to write as x plus 5 times x minus 3 over x plus 3 divided by, and then what multiplies to 5, adds to 6. I think you see, well, 5 times 1 and 5 plus 1. Well, those two will do the trick. So this is x plus 5 times x plus 1. And that is over x plus 3 as well. Now I'm going to rewrite the first one, x plus 5 times x minus 3 over x plus 3. I'm going to switch this one to multiplication and put x plus 3 on the top, x plus 5, x plus 1 on the bottom, canceling. X plus 3's, those cancel also. So I am left with the x minus 3 here, and the x plus 1. Okay. Next, I got 4 over 9ab. So I'm going to write that as 4 over 3 times A times B plus 5A over, give myself a little bit of room here, 2 times 3 for 6 times A for A squared. All right, when I'm looking at over here to see what this one needs, I see a 2 that's not over here. Got the 3A, this only has 1A, so multiply by A, multiply by A. Got that one set up. This one, I have the 2 now, 3. I need another 3, so I'll multiply by 3, multiply by 3. I need a B. Don't have one on this one, so I'll multiply by B. And I think we're good. 5 times 3 is 15, so I have 15AB. 2 times 3 is 6 times 3 is 18. 18A squared B. Okay. Wait, let's back up on that one. I am on autopilot, and it's not working. Okay. The denominator is 18A squared B. But I got this first one here, 4 times 2 times A is 8A. And here we got 15AB here. Now I'm done with that one. 24, let's simplify that one. Okay, I'm going to factor 3x plus 6. That's 3 times x plus 2. Give myself a little bit of room here. Minus x plus 1. And I'm wondering if you remember, if we've done it enough that you're remembering x squared minus 4, I can write as x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, what's here that's not here? And I see this x minus 2. So I'll write x minus 2 here. And I've got to multiply the numerator by x minus 2 as well. I have the x plus 2, x minus 2, but I do not have this 3, so I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 3 here. My common denominator is 3 times x plus 2 times x minus 2. And what's this first one? Let's distribute. 3 times x minus 3 times 2, which is 6, minus 3 times x plus 3 times 1, which is 3. So we've got 3x minus 6 minus 3x minus 3 over 3 times x plus 2, x minus 2. All right, 3x, negative 3x, cancel. Negative 6 minus 3, that is negative 9 over 3 times x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, now one thing else. I'm going to divide this by 3 and this by 3, and that becomes negative 3. So my final answer, I've got negative 3 over x plus 2 times x minus 2. All right, last one. This looks pretty familiar. It's the last thing we did like on Tuesday. 4 over x minus 5 minus 2 over x plus 2 equals 6 over what multiplies to negative 10 and adds to negative 3. I think it is negative 5 times 2 and negative 5 plus 2. That does equal negative 3. So check. I'll put x minus 5 here, x plus 2 here. Now, least common denominator. We're solving for x. The least common denominator here, I need to have x minus 5 as a factor and x plus 2 as a factor because of this one. This has x plus 5 and this has x plus 2. So 4 over x minus 5, and I need the x plus 2 on that, times x plus 2 over x plus 2 minus 2 over x plus 2. I need the x minus 5 for that one. Times x minus 5 times x minus 5 equals 6 over x minus 5 times x plus 2. Okay. And okay, I forgot how we were doing it. Now forget this step right here. Remember the step where I said we multiply through by the least common denominator? Let's do that. Let's not do what I just did there. Okay. So let's take the 4 over x minus 5 times x minus 5 times x plus 2 minus 2 over x plus 2 times x minus 5 times x plus 2 equals 6 over x minus 5 times x plus 2, and multiply that by x minus 5 times x plus 2. Okay, now let's cancel stuff. This cancels, so I got 4 times x plus 2. Those two cancel, minus 2 times x minus 5 equals, canceled and canceled, 6. So 4x plus 8, distributing, minus 2x plus 10 is equal to 6. 4x minus 2x is 2x. 8 plus 10 is 18. I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. 2x is negative 12. And I'll divide both sides by 2, and I get x is negative 6. All right, let's check it. 4 over negative 6 minus 5 minus 2 over negative 6 plus 2 equals 6 over negative 6 squared minus 3 times negative 6 minus 10. We're going to check this thing. That's 4 over negative 11. I'm going to simplify a little bit. Minus 2 over negative 4. And we're going to see if that is equal to 6 over, this is 36. Plus 18, that's 54. 54 minus 10 is 44. All right. Four divided by negative 11 minus 2, this will follow order of operations, divided by negative 4. I'm a little scared here. Okay, let's look what 6 divided by 44 is. Oh, it is equal. Yay! All right, so this checks. X is equal to negative 6, and I am finished with this video.